Hey everybody, welcome back to Mother Tucker's Antiques. Hopefully you guys had a very Merry Christmas and a great holiday. This is coming out probably in between Christmas and New Year's, but we thought we would do a little holiday tour of our house so you guys could see how we decorate for the holidays. So we know that everybody enjoyed the Easter one that I did, so I was thinking I would do the same thing for our Christmas tour. So I'll take you around. I'll show you the downstairs. We live in a split level, so I will show you the kitchen, dining room, and living room. So, all right, guys, hang on. Here we go. All right, guys, I guess we'll just start right here at the focal point of our Christmas this year. Two of our trees is our pink one over there, and then we have our emerald one, aluminum. So, for those of you that have felines that walk on all four legs, them little kitty cats, you guys know that they like to climb in trees. So our girl Rosie does not allow us to have a Christmas tree that is on the floor because she will chew it and try to climb in it. So to adapt and overcome, we found this one this year. We bought it at a store called Carnival of Collectibles in Sticklerville, New Jersey. They're a really great antique mall. They had this, I think it's about a 3 or 4 foot aluminum tree. I'd seen it on their Instagram, called them, bought it, and asked them to hold on to it till we could get down there. So they were nice enough to hold on to it for us. So we added this to our collection this year. And we do have it's somewhere between a 6 and an 8 foot green aluminum tree. I think this is the Holly Gay Company, if I recall what the box said. So that is what this one is. And our larger one. And our larger one I bought prior to the pandemic from our friends Todd and Jesse, who own Space in Lancaster. So that one stays boxed up in the basement and will come out once we get our Christmas room together downstairs, cat-friendly zone. But this one will now come out each year upstairs here on top of our hutch in our dining room. So let me give you a little play-by-play. These little boxes are made by our friend Amanda. She has Modulation Designs. Hopefully you guys can follow her on Instagram. We're friends with her, part of the Glow, which is the Christmas club that we're members of. And we bought this one from her, and they do light up. But I have them on timers, so you're not going to be able to see them lit because it's daylight when we're filming this. So this was the first one we bought from her in the shiny bright box, and she upcycled vintage Christmas and then adds lights to them, and they can be put on timers. So that was our first one we purchased from her. And then a few years ago, we purchased a little Woolworths one. And then they are on, if you guys are from the Northeast, but I guess they have them all over the country now. Tasty Cake is a Philadelphia tradition, a Pennsylvania tradition. Those are their fruit cake or holiday cake tins, 2 of them right there, and I use them as risers. And I love the, I don't know, would they be anthropomorphic? No, probably not. But these Plastic Fantastic made in Hong Kong arrangements of Santa. Just a floating Santa head. Fully makes sense. I'll show you in a moment the thing that sparked this collection. The very lovely Katie, a vintage treasure girl, gifted that to me, I think a year or 2 ago when I had found the first one. So again, this is all on top of our hutch. Then I have this neat little snowman with a little tree as a hat, little bell. Then these Plastic Fantastic little pom-poms we added there. And then last year I found the Merry Christmas sign. It is a die cut with glitter. I just thought it looked really good there in front of the tree. And of course, if you guys know your ornaments, these are the UFO ornaments that are the silk ornaments from the 60s, 70s, and they're very collectible. So here they are, and we'll slowly move over here by the tree. The tree is gorgeous. It has the white mixed in with it, with the emerald green. And then this is what sparked the flocked, excuse my neighbors, out back there. That's what sparked it, this cool little snowman. And I love how they gave him 2 different size eyes. I found him, and then Katie had seen a post I did, and I had said, hey, I remember when you got a Santa Claus, and she said, oh, well, it's not really my thing. How about it go live with you? And she was nice enough to gift that to us. So here's another. This is the latest edition with the Christmas lights with the angels. Amanda put in all those little spunhead angels. They're little picks. Then we have the ceramic girl playing the bass or the upright I guess it's a cello. She's playing the cello. So then the very lovely Karen Gillette and Gavin Gillette gifted us an Amy's Rockin' Pop doll this year. So he got added. Then here is the Hot Mess Holly, named by Tina. These were little creations that have gained in popularity. I think we got our first one a few years ago. They're still in storage. And the only information we know about them is they're epic. They're made with bottle brush. They're made with spun, not spun, but the silk ornaments. And then they have all these great other little details like the little aluminum snowflakes for eyes. The one I have, which is a gold one that isn't out on display, it actually has a tag on it that said it was made in a boutique in New York City. So that's the only thing I know about them. If anyone else knows any information about these little neat kitschy snowflake, hot mess holly individuals, please drop it down in the comments. I think we'd all love to know a little bit more about them. So then there's another one of the candy tins I've collected throughout the years. And then this year, I was super excited to add the Holly Poodle in pink to our collection. That was a gift to Tina. I purchased it from Brian of Mid-Century Mister. So she's on display because now in our dining room, our colors are going to be pink and red. So before I get into the other tree, I did add those to the balance this year. Those two little poinsettias with the Mercury and the bell. I couldn't find any for this valance. And hopefully next year when I'm filming this, we'll have some more things hung on the walls. And then over here is something finally checked off my holy grail list. I have wanted one of these bottle brush trees for well over a decade and never could find one and afford it. When I was heading up to the Hudson Valley, I stopped at a really, really great antique mall, Valley Vintage, with Garden Guy Bill. And as we were leaving, I looked up on top of the one showcase, and lo and behold, there it was. And asked to get it down. And when I went to pay for it, Bill refused to let me pay for it. He insisted that he buy it and gift it to me and Tina. So Bill, thank you so much for the great Christmas gift. And also the little styrofoam snowman I had purchased from Katie a few years ago. Then, of course, I thought that Christmas card looked really good. And I'm not condoning smoking, so it's naughty. But that is a vintage pack of, let me move over this way, it is a vintage pack of Lucky Strikes that I thought looked really good with my Santa this year. And in discussing with Amy, Enamor Amy, we think this is California pottery. Quite possibly could be deforest. So it is a little cigarette holder and ashtray. So there you can see the hat turns into an ashtray, and he could hold your matches or your cigarettes. So, and I have this is kind of my little 60s Rat Pack corner on top of the hi-fi, on top of the portable record player. I'll give you a better view from over here as I move around and you see my reflection. And then the lovely Enamor Amy gifted us right down here. This is our first little made in Japan little candy container. So she gave that to us this year. So back up here so you guys can see that corner. Try to not show you all the cat toys on the floor. And there is our corner. So there is the first part of our dining room. So we try to always do mid-century kitsch. That's kind of our thing. So there's that. So let me pause it here and we'll move over to the next part of the dining room. All right, so now this is our hutch. So we usually have those brandy snifters out all year round. So then you guys can see this is our Kent Coffee mid-century dining room set that we actually traded up and acquired a year ago. We got it from Todd and Jesse at Space. And then here's how I kind of just decorated some of our vases, put in some Mercury picks. These are the little tiny Holt Howard ornaments. I found this girl this year with the Holt Howard head. And then the choir folks did not sell, so I figured they needed to live with us. Found a pink poodle Christmas card. Love the Mercury picks, those little sprigs back there. They're aluminum, and there you guys can get the feel for the whole top of the hutch. Try to make it look Christmassy, and then as we come down below here, this is a creation that it was actually gifted to us. I'll show you the two that we bought, but Katie Vintage Treasure Girl made that, gifted that to us a few years ago. Then I acquired this neat little styrofoam atomic Santa Claus this year on eBay. He was like new old stock. He's supposed to hang on your front door. And then Tina won this year from the lovely Ariana of the Withering Cottage, another Holt Howard head. Plays on the pink and red of our dining room. And then I love these Drusilla mail holders or Christmas card holders. I had this one behind me, if you guys saw on a lot of the live sales this year, and he was just waiting till he could be used here on the back door. So now I'll show you the dining room table. Before we get into the dining room table, here is those incredible sprigs, those little poinsettias, Mercury glass garland coming down, and those bells are plastic. So there's a close-up of that. They're just so neat. I'd love to find some more. And then our dining room table. So we do have Tina's grandmother's original cotton tablecloth, but we didn't do that this year. We thought we were going to host Christmas Eve, but the plans got changed. So thinking we were going to host it, this is your plastic 1960s tablecloth. So very kitschy. So we just left that on this year. And then here is the centerpiece I kind of threw together. The bowl is actually Blanco. And then there is some satin balls in there. And then these are little plastic berries, kind of pulled the red and pink together. And then we have these neat little for New Year's Eve. It says, ring out the old, Happy New Year, ring in the new. We just found that. I think that's either Italian pottery or California. It kind of looks like a Christmas ornament. Then we have the Santa candle holders on either side. They're treasure craft. And then we have this neat little poinsettia. I don't think it's a hobbyist. I think it's California pottery. We use that to put cheeses on or cookies on. And then we have this New Year's Eve, New Year's baby kicking out the old in with the new. And then that didn't get hung on the window yet, but that's just a little sun catcher. So here's our dining room. Pan back here so you guys can see. We do have towels on the chairs so the kitty cats don't ruin them. And then there's the view. And we do, hopefully this year, we're going to replace out the chandelier. We have a mid-century one. So, all right, let's move on into the living room. All right, so here's our blue corner. It's always like this all year long. We have our blue 1950s lamp that I bought for Tina as a birthday gift a few years ago. That great vinyl chair with the original covering. So we'll get into it. We'll start over here. So I always like to place some different magazines and stuff, especially if guests come over, they can pick them up and read. Those are the neat 1960s different ideas. Then this one was given out by the Pennsylvania Power and Light. It's a fun read. It gives you all sorts of different ideas when it comes to hosting, writing your Christmas cards, all sorts of etiquette. And then my little motley crew here. Some have been with us for a while. Some are new additions. The Santa, I couldn't tell you who made him. I've had him probably had him for maybe 10, 15 years. We used to put out on the chair here at the old house we lived in. So he always makes an appearance each year, and he has sort of like a yarn face, very, very 60s looking, and then he has just a cloth body, and then two of my favorite little pixies, and that's how we purchased them with those ornaments, or should I say they're ornaments, but they're little gift boxes that are twisted in their hands. So the previous owner did it. We kind of left it. Then this is a Gund, or is it a Russian? I forget. It's one of those two. It's a snowman. Purchased him when we were in Pittsburgh with Amy and Garden Guy Bill. And then a new addition is my white Harold Gale, which I purchased from Bill during a live sale. So happy to have a white one. I did sell my gold one. And maybe someday some friends of mine that have a pink one will sell me their pink one. So, and then here's our pride and joy. So this is our blue turquoise, or, oh, I don't know. It's very, very, maybe it's turquoise, robin blue, baby blue. It's very 1950s blue. So this has been ours for, oh gosh, maybe five 5 to 8 years, somewhere in there. No, maybe 6 years. Well, I purchased it at an auction, and it was gray when I bought it. Brought it home, started cleaning it, realized that it was blue underneath, and it's kind of been our main ceramic tree every year. So added some of these little tiny pink pegs in there. They might read red on your screen, but up close they are pink. And then I love this little, oh my God, he's probably one of my favorite little snowmen. So here is our corner, and then of course I have some faux little foliage down here, and then we just throw a couple picks in there. Love them. So there's that corner. So let me pan back here so you guys can see all that. And we'll move on to the mantle. So before we get into the mantle, this was one of the first purchases I had made on Instagram, probably back in 2021. This had belonged to Katie, Vintage Treasure Girl. I think her and I have the same taste. That's why I keep mentioning her. I'm always happy to buy something from her. I think she finds some of the best vintage. But this was her doormat. She had it for a while, then decided to sell it. I purchased it, and every year it goes in front of our fireplace. And I just think it is so early 1960s, from the angel to the snowmen to the Santa. I couldn't picture my mantle here without it in front. All right, so we're going to start on the mantle up here. I will do a pan back to show you my full fireplace in a moment. So this is our first Enamour Amy assemblage. She gifted it to us when we met her for the first time in Ohio. We cherish it, we love it, and it gets a prominent location on the mantle so we can look at it every night while we watch TV and relax in the living room. I found this little guy this year. I think he was new old stock. He is, of course, a Santa, and he has mica and cardboard arms and feet. The body is some of those silk balls put together. He kind of looks like he's sledding. So then those are reproduction bottle brush trees. And I'll just pan down here so you guys can get a feel for what the mantle looks like. So then we'll slow pan back here. And again, those are reproduction bottle brush trees. And then we have a little Japan putt style composition little Santa. Those are the little pantyhose or nylon little poinsettias. I purchased those just recently when I was up in the Hudson Valley with Bill. And then we love the little snowmen with the little styrofoam pellets, and then the mercury glass eyes. So derpy, so kitschy. And then Tina got these last year. We have two of them up here. They are the little spun head Santas. They have the little nylon or pantyhose bodies. Hard to find them in that good a condition. Probably one of my favorite style pixies. I love those faces. So cute, yet up to no good. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? We have this bottle brush tree. Then I have this new acquisition this year. This really neat Santa. I purchased him from Rick up at the Antique Mall in Carlisle at the North Gate. So I think he's kind of doing the robot. I feel like Santa's doing the robot. Some more of those little poinsettias. Another bottle brush tree. And then we have my favorite, we have the green version of that pixie. We have a duplicate of the Santa because I'm balanced. I got to have it one on each side. And then we have another one of the snowmen. Another one of the Santas. Some more of those little poinsettias, bottle brush tree. And then a really, really neat snowman vintage Christmas card. And then probably my favorite deer that you can buy or have. These are the Hong Kong made of rubber, very mid-century reindeer. I embellished it with a vintage gift topper around its neck. And we just popped that there behind the cantle. So here, let me scroll back here and give you guys just a little glimpse at our mantle if I don't fall, because we do have cat toys on the floor. So that'll help give you guys a full picture of what our living room looks like. So then let's walk over here. This was another bucket list piece this year that I could check off. If you guys know, you know. This is a blow mold. It's an early Beco. These are hard to find because, well, they're hard to find, but they're hard to find in good shape because the eyes are paper. So there is a little bit of paint wear to him, but he is in overall really good condition. Then here's our reproduction mid-century chair. Kind of pulls all the colors together. And then, of course, a vintage nativity. That was my grandmother's. So, and I think Frankie wants to say hello. Where are you at, Frankie? Do you want to say hi, Frank? Frank wants to be center of attention. So say hi, Frank. Say hi, everybody. I'm Frank. I'm Frank. So here's that corner. And I got a little bit more to show you. So let's focus on the Beco. And we got to be fair and let everybody say hello to Rosie. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, YouTube land. I'm Rosie. I'm the cutie pie. She's not having it. All right. As you were, Rosie. So then in our living room, we have our front door. And then this is what you see just to your right when you come in the front door. And this changed a couple times this year because Rosie, my little Martha Stewart, decided things needed to be moved around. So we did. Because when she doesn't like it, she decides it gets moved. So here's a vintage To My Darling Christmas card. This is another one of Amanda's creations. We purchased her this year. She had this vintage head vase and put all this great vintage inside of it. I just think it's epic. This is probably one of the best assemblages in a head vase I've seen in a long time. And then Susie Snowflake here was a gift from my friend Brian of Mid-Century Mister. He had gotten a few of these and he had one that was missing the top. So he had said I could have it. I told him, I said, I will figure out how to fix her. And I found some more Plastic Fantastic and popped it in there and gave her some white hair with a little mercury ball. And then there is damage, but these were incredible, an incredible find this year. I actually bought these from a dealer in my store, Nancy. These are the kitschiest reindeer that I've ever had, and we're happy to have them. And then here's a hobbyist tree. We love it. When the eBayers sent it to us, part of it was broke. I did glue it and repair it. But it displays well nonetheless. And then instead of candles in the candle holders, we put some vintage shiny bright miniature ornaments. So here, we'll just pan back so you guys can see that. And again, I promised you guys in the Easter one, I'll go through our cabinets and do a video at some point. And then here on the back of our front door is another one of the card holders made by Drusilla, which were kits. And I think I got him from Sugar Britches in one of her first live sales last year. So excited to add him. So we got a few more areas to show you. Hang on. We'll keep it moving. Stick with me, guys. All right, so this is our reproduction shelf because we could not find an authentic shelf back in the day, and we got tired of waiting, so we got something that kind of looks period correct at 50s, 60s. It is a metal shelf, and some of this stuff stays out all year long, and then some things I add in. So let's start with my new addiction is these chenille trees, okay? This is the first one I've ever bought. I love it. It is the bump chenille, and then on each tip has these mercury beads on there. So I assume that they were craft ideas. I don't think they were mass produced, but I got my eye on a white one. So hopefully I'm adding a second one here soon, but we just popped that in the mermaid, the Hager mermaid up there. And I think it looks really neat. Like she's swimming home with her Christmas tree. So, and then I found these this year. Little drummer boy. Then these were another bucket list. I don't even know what company makes them, but they're little styrofoam balls that are covered with a sock style material. And we got the derpy snowman, and hopefully you guys can see his black hat. He's all bug-eyed and looking over here at Santa. I saw these a few years ago online, could never find them again, was so excited to find them this year. And then my favorite little snowman this year, he's a little card tipping his hat hello to you. So come on down here. We got some Plastic Fantastic in there with some little spun heads down here on this shelf. Just pan back here so you guys can get an idea of where we're at. And then we'll slowly come back in. So we have some of our little mica figurines, our little snowman. We have this little angel. I think she's one of my favorite little angels with her harp. She's just belting it out. And then one of my favorite Noel sets. Back here, a little harder to find one. Let's get in here so you guys can see. And then we popped in some Plastic Fantastic. And then this guy, I'm not sure what he was really meant to be. He's just this string, little nylon string individual with a spun head. I think it would have been a gift tie. So we just popped him in there, stretch in there. Then we have one of these shiny bright little angels. This Norcrest Santa Bank, he needs some touching up, but I found him this year. Some more of the little spun heads. We have a little gnome goober back there. Some family portraits of grandparents, aunts, and great aunts and uncles. Some more of our favorite, or Tina's favorite. She's always loved these little spun head figurines. Then, of course, we have a vintage Christmas card. And then this year we purchased this epic deer tree topper from the lovely Ariana. She created it. It's a vintage deer head, and then some of her homemade glitter in the top. So this year it's going to live right there. So let me pause, move down another shelf, and we'll keep it going. All right, so again, some of these things stay out all year long. Of course, Christmas isn't Christmas without some Hershey Kisses. Pop this little Mercury spun head snowman little package topper in that planter. Some more of the Plastic Fantastic poinsettias. And then some of these great Napco choir kids. I think we have almost a whole entire series of those. Vintage Christmas cards. And then, of course, the carolers I thought went well. Then we have this old package topper. Some more little package toppers. And then in this little planter, I tucked in some bottle brush reeds. Another little package topper. And some more little spun heads. So we'll keep on going down here. On the bottom, some of these are my favorite things. So then we have this gorgeous little spun, their little spun ornament, little angel. Some more Christmas cards down here. Some more of these. They're made of aluminum. They're to mimic little Christmas trees. Pan over here to the vintage Christmas cards. And then we have another hot mess holly back here. And then down here on the bottom shelf, two more of my favorite plastic Hong Kong mid-century reindeer with a Santa. And then there's that. So let's slow pan back up here so you guys can get the whole feel of everything. And I feel like a Christmas card has fallen down somewhere. So let me see if I can find it and see if I can fix it. I think we're missing one. And we were. It's amazing how I remembered what I even put out. It had fallen behind, so we fixed it. So I just thought that looked neat with the bells above the little angels that spell out Noel. And again, these are some of our favorite ones in very good condition. So let's move on to the kitchen as we're losing daylight. All right, guys, now we're in the kitchen, and I'm sure you guys remember our apothecary candy jars. If you saw our Easter display that I shared with you, these are old little candy containers and anything food related. Let's start right here in the center. This was a gift from the lovely Enamor Amy this year. She got the little bottle brush tree there in the back from Brian at Mid-Century Mister, the new old stock eggnog mix box from John at Everyday Holiday Displays. And then here was another early purchase that I purchased on Instagram. Katie, Vintage Treasure Girl, handmade these. They're these little snow cone, little assemblages. I love them. Then the Mrs. Claus here, pardon the glare. That's a little vintage cardboard candy container. These, I think, held ice cream at one point. We have a vintage nutmeg tin. This was a gift from my friend Sherman. He recreated some of those ornaments. He remembered them as a kid. And when we were at the Christmas party, I loved them so much, he gifted me one. And here's another vintage, I think they're ice cream containers. Here is the Santa that goes with Mrs. Claus. And then here is the other assemblage that we bought from Katie, Vintage Treasure Girl. And I love some handmade magnets. People put their heart and soul into those. And then let me move around here. And then you guys can see these are some other ones I have found. And then this Christmas card was a gift from Brian at Mid-Century Mister. So let me show you the rest of the counter. We're almost done, guys. Hang tight. All right, guys, and again, pardon the glare. We're losing daylight, but this is a vintage Simon's candy tin from my hometown of Elizabethtown. This is one of our Christmas card list tins. I was fortunate enough to finally be able to be with the cool kids and get my official sign, the sign pieces for 2/5 for the 25th. So that was a fun addition this year. We've had this mini little ceramic Christmas tree for a long time, vintage little candy holder in the back there, and then of course, I don't know if you guys saw this year, but these are epic and I love them. So I saw that Tyler of K&G Thrift Co. had gotten his. Pringles came out with these sort of kitschy, like throwback Santas, and there is a snowman too. But of course, when you see something epic like that, you got to run out and get yourself one. So we will eat those chips out of there, and then I will keep that and display it each year, because in 20 years, folks will be decorating with those. So here is our counter. Of course, I've been collecting vintage candy containers for a long time. Here is the larger Tasty Cake tin. This is an old candy jar I filled with some garland, some new old stock Denizen napkins. This Christmas mix tin was a new addition this year. Look at now, I know you guys can see the shadows. There you go. That was a new addition this year. I love those, the Christmas mix and those retro ornaments that they used in that design. And then our neighbor Glenn each year makes his own handmade ornaments. And this is what he made this year. So each year he gives us one of his homemade ornaments. He whittles these and cuts these all by hand. And this year, you can see he signed it. This year he made a snowman. So thank you, Glenn. We appreciate that each year. And then I have some Viking bullseye on the counter. And then those are just, they may be washed out for you, but they were Italian Christmas light candy canes. I just threw them in there, and at night you don't see the wires, and it just looks like glowing candy canes. And then we have this cool Old Howard style Santa dish. All right, guys, hang on. We got 2 more places to show you. All right, guys, and then this is our little dinette that's in our kitchen. Don't want to show you too much because there is our cat food bowls are on the floor. But I did acquire these 2 flocked deer this year. We've had this ceramic tree for a few years. Always looks good in here. And then I pop a few Christmas cards on our original 1950s atomic shelves. But this one is my favorite for the kitchen because he's got a little shopping cart. Busy, busy Santa. So here's all this. 1 or 2 more places to show you, and then we're all done. All right, guys, hang on. And then one of my favorite things is these little anthropomorphic peppermint pops. They came from American Daydream. I got this fun little new old stock oven mitt with the snow person when I was with Bill up in the Hudson Valley. Pardon our sink and backyard, but then I do add some decor here on the back window. There you can see that. And then we'll just pan over here. And what a thing to end on. It's not all that great, but I really enjoy... Oh, I know what we'll end on. So then here, I always hang these candy canes on this Empoli brandy snifter. And we'll end with our coffee table. So hang on, guys. And then we'll end here in the living room. And we have a mid-century... There's Frank. We have a mid-century coffee table. And this is a Hager planter. And then each year I put some candy canes. You see it from... I know, tell him, Frank, you like it. There you can see it from the side. And then this is a old little placemat that has these neat little spun heads on there. And that is the middle of our living room. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed my little holiday home tour. Hopefully you guys get a little chance to watch this here around New Year's as my finger gets in the screen. So guys, thank you so much for being so supportive of Mother Tuckers in 2023. Again, guys, we couldn't do this without you. Thank you to our co-host, Amy of Enamor Amy, Bill of Garden Guy Bill. Everybody, thank you so much. So we wish everybody a very prosperous and very, very great 2024. Don't forget, guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. please hit the thumbs up button. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my home decor. Hopefully this year in 2024, I will be doing some more shop with me's, some more things like this. We're going to squeeze in some more content. And remember, we will be back on January 3rd. That'll be our first sale back on Wednesday. Fantastic Finds with Amy of Enamour Amy. And then we'll be back for the second Monday in January with Misty Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter, Garden Guy Bill, and Enamour Amy. So again, we have 2 live sales every week. Every Monday night, Marvelous Mother Tucker's Monday with Garden Guy Bill. Hey, I see you, Frank. I see you creeping, Frank. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then every single Wednesday with Enamour Amy. Fantastic Find. So till then, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your holidays, and we'll see you soon.